Good morning to everybody. So, I'm Biswas, Academic Counselor of IGNU. Today, another course that is your MMPC GGL2. Today is the first day of MMPC GGL2. This Human Resource Management. It is basically the first semester of MBA, and it is a compulsory paper, compulsory course. So, in any stream of MBA, you have to go through this subject, this course, you have to finish it up. So, before go to the human resource management, so let us see the total course materials, I mean the syllabus of the subject. There are 4 blocks in human resource management. Block 1, there are 3 units. The introduction of the human resource management. There are concept and the evaluation of the HRM. Unit 2 is the function of the HRM. Unit 3, environment of the HRM are discussed there. And block 2, the sourcing of the human resource, is unit number 4 is your HR planning. Unit number 5 is the job analysis, design and the evaluations. Unit 6 is the recruitment and selections. Unit 7 is the socialization and the mobility. Block 3, basically for the performance and the compensation management. There are 3 units are there. That is your unit 8 is your performance appraisals. Unit 9 is your Unit 9 is your Unit 9 is a career development, and Unit 10 is your training and development. Unit 11 is the compensation and reward management. And the last block, there's a block number 4, that is the employer and employee relations, where there are 3 units. Basically, unit number 12 is the employee empowerment, and unit 13 is your grievance handling and the discipline management, and unit 14, last unit, that is your unions and the associations. So this is the way the structure of the courses are given. There are 4 blocks, so all the blocks are unique. And today we have to discuss the block number 1. First, we try to understand the concept of the HRM. As you see, there are Mr. N.R. Narayanmurthy, the founder of Infosys Limited. He says, you must treat your employees with respect and dignity, because in the most automated factory in the world, you need the power of human mind. That is what brings innovations. You want high quality minds to work for you, then you must protect the respect and dignity. It means how much importance is the human. He says, actually, he has already implemented in his company, in Infosys, and everybody knows where this company is now. So among the 5 managements, the 5 MS, you can say, the namely is the men, money, machines, materials, and methods. There are 5 M's. So HRM deals with the 5 first M. Men are what they refer as the human resources. So basically, you have to deal with the HRM, to deal with the human. How to develop their, how to everything. That we have to see slowly. Then try to understand what is the HRM. HRM is the process of acquiring, developing, maintaining and retaining the human resources in an organization with the strategic objective of the achieving organization goal. So basic uh, things are, first you have to acquire, I mean, you have to recruit the people, you have to search the people, job hunting or something. Then you have to process, then you give a appointment letters, and joining the employee, then you treat it as an employee. For that it was a candidate. Then after the giving when you are offering the particular post, then it will be is an employee of particular positions. Then develop. After that, the next stage is to develop this human, this employee, and maintaining. There is a continuous process and retain the human resources. So all together, and at the same time, it should be a objective, strategic objective should be there, and overall organization's goal to be made. So we can say that is the meaning of the HR. There are so many authors are written in different way. They have described the theory or understanding their as per their own theories. So otherwise, we can say the human resource management is a strategic and coherent approach to the management of an organization. So most valued asset, you can say, the people working there who individually and collectively contribute to the achievement of the objectives. Then you can see some of the evolution of the HRM, how it has come earlier, what has happened, and now what is going on, what are the present trends. HRM has evolved from the personal management. Basically, there's the Elton Mayo and the F.W. Taylor and the Robert Wayne play a significant role. Elton Mayo was the founder of the human relations movement in the 1920s. He emphasized the influence of the human resource on worker productivity. Taylor has developed a differentiated compensation system that rewards employees with higher performance levels that are still used in the company. He promoted significant scientific management through the four principles, which normally are slowly adopted by the other multinational companies and throughout the world. So it is scientific management system. Then evaluate a task by setting its components, then select the employees that had appropriate skills for a task, then provide the workers with the incentives and the training to do a task. These are all other activities which are inclined to the human for the development purposes. Or we can say this is all of the objectives of the HRs. There's so many, or this is all of the significant purposes. So use the science to plan how workers perform their jobs. Now, the period before the industrial revolutions, period of industrial revolutions, you can say that is a 1950 to 1850. And then after that, the post-industrial revolutions. So I have to compare how much development has done, and slowly now how much importance we are giving in the humans. Strategic human resource management approaches with increasing technology and the knowledge-based industries and the globalization completions. So HRM is assuming more critical role today. It's major accomplished in aligning the individual goals and objectives with the corporate goals and objectives. And strategic HRM focuses or actions that differentiate the organizational goal and from the competitors to see it and aims to make long-term impact on the success of the organizations. Here actually I try to emphasize one or two, 3 points. Their strategic work is involved means we have to improve their cohesiveness, focus on the company's mission and objectives. In a competitive market, you have to see the competitive markets. So your employees should be enough skills so that they can beat or they can compete the market. So this is basically the strategic point of view. There's a latest going on. This is the area to be developed. Now, your strategic human resource management approach with the increase in technology and the knowledge-based industries and globalization competitions. HRM is assuming more critical role today. It's a major accomplished in the aligning the individual goals and the objectives, the corporate goals and the objectives. So it focuses on the action of the differentiate the organizations from the competitors. Where we are now, where our people are stands compared to other companies. Skill enough or not, knowledge-wise, productivity has increased or not. That will be counted as a success of the organizations. Now, different stages of the development of the HRM. Modern concept of the HRM has developed through the following stages. As per the Gupta 1997, the commodity concept means humans are considering as just like a commodity, one of the object, just like a earlier. Then after that, that stage is over now. Now, not considering as a commodity. Then the factor is a production concept. Then as a product, considering as a product, you take some money and you do it. There is no other role, no personal development, no relations, nothing, no attachment with the company, simply. Then after that, another stage has come, that is your parentalistic concept. Means, look at some care, you have to see their welfare, some of the consolations. So slowly it has developed. It is needed because the need are there. Humanitarian concept. Then after that, another concept has come so that you can share their emotions, and for the good health, welfare, everything are slowly that concept has come. Means basically the relationships has to be increased. Means the workers and the management and among the individuals within the group, within the other sections, some sort of a human relationships are focused on this. That stage. Then after that, slowly behavioral HRM concept has come. We have to see all the behavioral patterns of the individuals, and that should be recorded, should be acquired, and accordingly you have to give some of the treatments. Psychologically, you have to see their conditions, and to fulfill what the Maslow has said, that part has to be considered, and do accordingly how best we can do for the employees, or their feelings can be understood, and they can also participate in the total objectives of the company, and so that they are increasing their productivity also. Then after that, the stage is there. That is the emerging concept. The emerging concept are basically the cultures, cultural behaviors, skills, multitasking capacity. All these parts are there. Plus, at the same time, retaining of the employees. That is the another concept is going on in HR. How to retain the skilled humans so that they can continuously participate in the development in the company and the productions, the profitability can be maintained. So, these the different stages are there. It took place, see, started from 1997. Now, where is we are now 2023. So, you see the changes, how drastically it has happened. The growing importance of the service sector is Indian economy has also highlighted the importance of the change in the approach by the personal and administrative parameters. The employees in the new scenario has the following features. Employees are mostly in their mid-20s, now most of them mid-20s or early 30s, mostly. So all employees are educated and their level of general awareness is high. Employees are more committed to the professions than to the organizations. Here actually I'm talking about the new scenario because earlier the employees or workers, they are not so much educated. Now highly skilled, highly educated persons are there. So to handling the educated persons in different way is required. And nowadays most of the employees are there dedicated, they are committed because they know, they understand their futures. The rates of attritions and the level of mobility of the employees among the organizations are high because nowadays the attrition level is high. Workers cannot say, earlier they have think, okay, I am getting the money in the end of month, whatever the employment management has given, it is enough. So there is no very much career planning. That thought process was not there. Simply they have to survive their life. But now, not this. Employees are also very much aware. They are thinking their futures also. Lot of desires has improved. Demand is also there. So that's why they are trying to changing the organizations from one after one, where the salary is good or the system is good or the environment is good. They are changing most of the times. So that way, the attrition levels is high. The rate is high. People are going and coming. They are not retained. They are not staying in a long way, particularly at least 4 or 5 years. As per the latest survey, experts are saying if the employees are particular organizations, if they stay for 4 to 5 years, it is enough because it shows the retention policy is good. And that's not and others if within 6 months or 1 year the employees are coming and going, then they're leaving their organizations, not very good policies. So focus on your business. So all these things are to be accounted, to be seen in that perspectives. Now some of the HRM objectives and the functions are given here. That is your societal objectives. They are basically your supporting functions, legal compliance, benefits, union management relations. This is a part of your social objectives. Operational objectives, that is your HR planning, and your HR relations, then your selection, training and development, appraisals, and placement. These all are part of your operational objectives. Means day-to-day operations are there. That is a social respect because when you are working somewhere, so definitely you should have some legal complaints if any personal problems or from the any sort of uncomfortable conditions. So that is should be that support system should be there. So that's why your legal law or the some of the grievance, whatever the things that departments is there to look after their personal affairs. Benefits one of the things, the social benefits are which is some of the welfare, the colony, and the socially they are respect, giving giving the respect or not. That part. Event management relations is also another part. So it is all that functions are falling under that jurisdiction. That is that objectives are basically operational day-to-day. What are the activities are going on? But functional objectives. Functional objectives where you can judge the skills, you can performance, you can see, and accordingly you can placement, promotions, everything, and you can assess the everything. That is all are the functional objectives. Personal. Personal development, that is training and development, appraisal placement, compensation. Means personal means your promotions. Suppose now 4 years you are in particular positions, then after 4 years you are a manager, the deputy manager, whatever that positions. Compensation, your pay package, how much salary you are getting, really as per your work it is justified or not, and finally assessment. These all are the HRM objectives and the functions are derived from these. Now, same thing, some of the subsystems are showing in the HRM. That is your finance, technical, marketing, materials. I mean or you can say other way productions. This is the way you can distribute. Technical as such, their engineering, you can say the engineering, or technical. So these all are the encompasses totally the central subsystems. You can see the HRM is central subsystems. The importance of HRM can be discussed at 4 levels. That's corporate levels, professional levels, social and national levels. There are 4 levels we can discuss. Has been derived. This is the way it is categorized. Now the significance of a corporate. So they are attracting, retaining, planning, recruitment, selection, placement, orientation, compensation, promotion, policies. These all are your significant point of the corporate. Developing the necessary skills and the right attitudes among the employees through TND, training and development, and their personal appraisals. This is one of the process, or you can say there is one of the tools. Based on these, you can understand, you can give us some feedback or idea, or we can say the outcomes. And so many alternatives are there, which are the best options for the particular individuals, depending on their capacity and the result. You can put them for the training and development. So, training is one of the important aspects. The current situations, what are the skills are required that you can make up. And development part is basically for the futuristic parties. Training is different, and development is also different. So jointly we can say the TND, and that's why the HRD, human resource development, are one of the area as now established in particular organizations where the global competitions are also increased. That's why it is very much required for each other. Securing willing cooperations of the employees through motivation, grievances, handling, etc. Secure. You have to see that what are the cooperations between the employees that has to be see then to increase their motivations. At the same time, if things are there, then grievance will be less. I mean, the complaints will be less. Even though if any some of the complaints are there, that has to be handled by the grievance department. They have to see it. And how fast it can be redressed. That is the way. Utilizing effectively the available human resources and whatever the human resources are there, optimization, otherwise we can say that's the optimization of the, so effectively utilizations. So means any employee should not be overloaded or underloaded. If somebody has no work, just simply enjoying throughout the 8 hours, maybe 1 or 2 hours, the job is there, and balance time, there's no work. It means it's a waste of man hours, wastage of manpower also. So that part you have to see, you have to utilize effectively, you have to redistribute the works accordingly. Then ensuring that the enterprise will have in future a team of competent and dedicated employees. So another aspect, another area from the HR management, you have to see that any enterprise that you have to prepare in such a team so that they can compete in futures, and some dedicated team employees be there. Then your professional professional significance. It's providing the maximum opportunities for the personal development of each employee. So here actually focus should be more. I mean the maximum opportunity should be there. Maintaining the healthy relationship between the individuals and the different work groups. Allocating the work properly. Number B, actually here maintaining the healthy relationships, basically they are talking about the culture and the climate, environment. It is focus on that areas. If the culture is good, climate is good, a total environment is there, then we can say it is a, and then relationships also to be healthy natures. So other way I can say the mental stress can be reduced if you are in a coordinated manners, in a your relationship is good, so you can share your emotions, you can share your technology, you can share your knowledge, help each other. So definitely we can consider as a good group. Allocating the work properly is one of the, I mean, say the strong point in organizations. Most of the cases, the unhappiness is built up because of that. Allocating of the, not allocating the work as per his capacity, as per his competence. So competency based on these, you have to decide the job is really what are the taxes given. That is here happy or not. This acceptance of the employee is very much important. In word distributing the jobs, you have to allocate. When you are allocating the jobs, the work that should be properly, and there should not be any dispute or unhappiness. So initially, you have to observe these things. If you feel unhappy or uncomfortable, change his activities, change the work immediately. Social significance, that is your providing the suitable employment that provides the social and the psychological satisfaction of the pupils, maintaining a balance between the jobs available and the job seekers in terms of numbers, qualification, needs, and aptitudes. In that, their attitudes. Eliminating the waste of human resources through the conversation of physical and the mental health is all are the significant point. Now, national point. Human resource and their management plays a vital role in the development of the nations. So countries are undeveloped because their people are backward. So according to Fowell, management functions are universal in public and private organizations. And there are so many authors have written. Simon has saying the management is the art of science of getting things done. So focus on the development of the employees, not only beneficial for the company, organizations, but also for the nations. So it consists of the following functions: setting general and the specific management policy for the relationships, establishing the maintaining and the suitable organizations for the leaderships and cooperations, then your collective bargaining, negotiations, contract administrations, and the grievance handling. These are all of the following the functions: stopping, finding, getting, and the holding the prescribed types of the number of workers through this recruiting process. Now I have to see the scope of the agent. The aiding in the self-development of the employees at all levels. In all levels, that some should be tools or some of the aids should be there so that based on this opportunity they can develop. Some of the platforms, basically company has to give us some of the platforms where the things are available. They can get the knowledge, they can get the opportunity so that they can show their best performance, skill, and whatever the experiences. The developing, maintaining motivation of the workers, reviewing and the auditing the manpower management time to time. Then industrial relations research ought to be there so that they can carry out the studies where the loopholes, where the shortfalls they can identify for the improvement in the manpower management. The scope of the HR is very wide. It studies various aspects which are the following: the labor or the personal aspect. It is concerned with the manpower planning, recruitment, selections, placement, incentives, productivity. These are all the from the areas, or following areas and aspects. Welfare aspects are there, where this aspect is concerned with the working conditions and the amenities. Then your industrial relations aspect, the concern with the company's relations with the companies, the employees. It includes the union management relations, the industrial relations part, and settlement of the industrial disputes, etc. So these are all of the jurisdictions where the HRM are look up. This is all I can say the scope of the HRM, where they can see और हिंदी में जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि कितना दायरा है what are the area of the human resource management. So this is the basically area. I can repeat once again. First, your labor and personal aspect, welfare aspect, and your industrial relations. That are the three scope of the HRM. Now, nature of the HRM. Human resource management is a process of bringing the people and the organizations together so that the goals of the each are met. It has the following features: pervasive forces, action oriented, individual oriented, then people oriented, future oriented, development oriented. So many basic the domain. You can see this is a domain area oriented. Integrating mechanisms, comprehensive functions, auxiliary sales services, interdisciplinary functions, continuous functions. So everything are the nature of the HRM. Now, what are the components of the HRM? Now we see basic things. What are the components? There's the human resource organizations, human resource planning, human resource systems, recruitment management, then your information management, training management, performance management, reward management, and your career management. So these all are the component, major component of the HR. Health and safety management is one of the important nowadays. Cultural management. Then another, the biggest and very focused area, that is the human resource development, HR. Obviously, training and development is also the main things. Apart from this, all other strategic part is also there, which are also a part of your R&D. Relations, human resource relationships, human resource utilizations, human resource accounting systems. This is called the HRD. Human resource auditing is also HRD. One is the accounting side, another is the audit side. Subsequently, in another block, we have to describe more. We have to more details. We can understand what is the accounting systems, what is the audit. That we have to. We can subsequent other blocks that we discuss. Now, just here to know what are the components of the HRM that we should right now try to remember. Managerial functions, the planning, organizations, directing, controlling, these all are the managerial functions. So the planning, then operative function. What are the operative functions? That is the HR resourcing, job analysis, human resource planning, recruitment, selection, placement, your induction, orientations. So all are the operative functions. So here actually some of the things are to remember and clarify the things. Most of the cases, I have seen the students as mixed up. Managerial function and operative function, they are mixed. So should not be, because clear cut where the management interventions are required, objective, strategically decisions, and your missions, whatever the things are involved. So that part we can say that type of function, managerial functions. Obviously, who will give the directions? Top management. Planning. Who will approve this planning? Management. So, it's all a part of managerial function. That is the way you can remember. Control. Who can control? I mean, finally, who is giving the directives for this controlling? Management. Operative is different sources. State human resources. Analysis part, job analysis part. So all are after this, the directing and the objectives of planning. Then second phases are going on all these parts. Planning, HR will upload your in actions. So where our action-oriented functions are there, we can see stateway, these are our operative functions. Because placement, definitely, you have to advertisement, you have to take some written test, you have to interview, you are doing some of these. So all in actions. That functions in actions. So we can say it's all in operatives. In operations. Otherwise, you can say the operations. Performance and development. Performance appraisals here, one part. Training, management, development. Career planning and the development. Internal mobility. Transfer, promotion, demotions, retentions, retrenchment management, change and the organization's development. So all are your performance based. And further we have to see the development also. Compensation management, where the finance is involved there, how much salary should be there, what are the, as per the post, what are the fringe benefits, what are the HRA, other lot of allowances, so all are the part of your compensation management. Even some of the award management is also separately, sometimes it is combined, but in the it should be there. Then implications. and employee relations. Integration in the sense everything else should be integrated. All these functions should be integrated. And then employee relations. Compensation management, what are the things that there? There are job evaluations, wage and salary, administrations, your incentives, bonus, French benefits, social security. These all are your part of your compensation management. Integrations, employee engagements, employee moral, counseling, employee welfares, ethics, and HR. These all are integrated part. Relations that are grievance redressals, disciplinary management, union management, these are all your part of your relations. Earlier it was a industrial relations. Now you can say employee relations. Industrial relations and your employee relations, the same thing. Uh, Same way it has meaning. Emerging functions in the HR. Then apart from the above mentioned functions, some of the emerging functions are there which are very required in the present scenario. The recent trends in the HRM include that is your strategic HRM, as I said, there's the ethics and the HRM, then your HR accounting, audit and research. International HR is another aspect for the emerging functions, and your international HR outsourcing. You see the functions are categorized. There are managerial functions. Now we have seen in the earlier slides. Then after that we have seen your operative functions and so many other functions. And finally we are seeing the emerging functions. So functions you have to categorize a different way based on these activities, and you have to remember appropriately. The role and the responsibilities of the HR managers. Now, it is also critical. We have to see what is the role of the HR managers. So, apart from the above mentioned functions, the HRM, these are some emerging functions. Human resource management, advancing in the first rate. So, recent trends in the HRM like this, it is almost the same slides. Now, primary responsibility of the HR resource managers. What is the primary role? Responsibilities. To develop a thorough knowledge of the corporate culture, plans and the policies. They act as an internal change agent and the consultant. Then to initiate the change and act as an expert and the facilitator. So it is all the managers should have this quality. So it is talking about the responsibility in the case of the manager should have that type of category. It should be criteria. It should be expert enough, knowledgeable. To involve the company's strategy formulations, then to keep the communication line open between the HRD functions and the individuals and the groups, both within the outside and the organization. So communication skill or communication is one of the very vital issues. So managers should have a good communicator. To identify and evolve the HRD strategies in the consonance with the overall business strategy. So to facilitate the development of the various organizational teams and their working relationships with other teams and the individuals, interventions, or to conduct the research so as to identify, develop, or the test how HRD in general has improved individual and the organizational performance. To try and relate the people and work so that the organization's objectives are achieved efficiently and effectively. Then to diagnose the problems and determine the appropriate solutions, particularly in the human resource areas. So this is one of the diagnosis is one of the areas. So all are the analytical parts. Analytical parts. So to provide the coordination and the support services for the delivery of the HRD program and services, to evaluate the impact of the HRD interventions, or to conduct the research so as to identify, develop, test on how to HRD in general has improved individuals and the organizational performance. So this is all of the things. Now here are some of the diagrams I want to show you that are emerging roles of the HR managers. The administrative HR practices. There are some of the, you can say, the administrative part. There are HR practices, legal compliance, forms, and the paperwork. Then it is forwarded to, next stages are your operational actions. Operational actions, managing the employees, relationship issues, employee advocate. So it's all our operational issues. Then finally, it is your strategic HR. There is organizational and business strategies, HR strategic or planning, evaluation of HR activities. So these are all are the emerging roles of HR managers. That is, if the questions come, what is the emerging role of HR manager? Then you have to list some of the responsibilities of the HR managers. Then you see, you can write some of the your emerging the roles. This is the way you have to mention. Now, some of the the basic laws. This is your 7S McKinsey 7S framework models. These all are, you see there, the left hand side you see there HR. Even in the total 7S framework, again distributed by the two part. One is the HR soft and HR hard. So HR soft systems framework on the style, then your staff, skill, and superordinate goals. All are your soft HR soft systems or framework, you can say. Hard system is basically strategy, structure, systems. Because here actually when you are talking, when I am talking about these things, it will change a lot. Or based on this, change management is also coming up. So it may be a very broader way. So that's why it is in nature hard. Now corporate efficiency, business strategy, and international organizational effectiveness all are interconnected. This is the way the model has given. The McKinsey 7S structure, framework has given. Then functions of the HR managers are as follows. There is a human resource manager as an intellectual, and HR manager as an educator, discriminator, executive, leader, humanistics, then good vicinity. So these all are the HR manager should have. Basically, the HR manager should have a intellectual enough, education should be there. You can easily discriminate the things, understand them very fast, take the decision very quickly. These all are the, you can say, the criteria. But basically, it is all are the mandates, basically required, mandatory for a good managers. Then strategy and HRM part is now talking about the strategy of the HRM. The strategy is regarded to be the more than the decisions. Also putting choices into practices. However, regarding HR management in organizations, so there are two basic type of strategy. One is a competitive business strategy, and second is a human resource strategies. There are two categories, two parts. So when we are talking about a strategy, then overall company where your stands both in the market and where you are likely to be, what you want to be in the futures, what is your competitors. So based on this, when you are making and you are taking some of the steps or you are taking some of the action, so that is converted as a strategy, we can see. So this is your part of the organizational strategy, you can see it. And from the human resource part, that they involve the choice making regarding the management of the people, within the organization, how to manage the people regarding in respect your employees. That is your this is one of your organizations part. So now next is your ethics and HRM. So ethics and HRM is your one of the area. HR practitioners play a major role in keeping. Then you're enforcing the organizational ethics. Some areas of the ethical misconduct involving HR activities are as follows. This is compensations. Means salary should be the same at par with the market. Because if your salary is not, if somebody employees are inquiring from the other company, similar type of job, similar production they are also doing, their salary and his salary structurally changes, then he feels some that. So some ethics should be there. At least some compensation packages should be at par. Respectful salary should be there so that he can socially can get the respect. Employee relations, staffing and the equal equipment. So these are all are the part of your ethics of the HMS. So equal employment. You see the here of the one of the points is equal employment. So outsourcing. Now coming to the outsourcing, because it is now popular nowadays. Because now last 10, 15 years we have observed the BPOs are here in the most of the works are outsourcing. The business process outsourcing, we can say BPO. So outsourcing simply refers to the use of the another party or third party carry out these various specific jobs. So business operations and the functions are there about it. So you can some of the works you can which are the really criticality or not sufficient manpower you have, not skill enough or particular these things. So you can outsource the things. You can get it done the job from the outside. Obviously, on the some pay you have to some of the payment, some of the charges you have to pay for that, and you can get the things right until and unless you have a good enough. But parallelly, you have to develop. You have to develop your manpowers, but somehow you are presently you don't have this sufficient manpower to do this job, or maybe urgency or use. Maybe you have to recruit a lot of people right now, and after this project, maybe it will be so. Depending on the planning or depending on the decisions, you have to outlet. You have to outsourcing the jobs in a specific time. But these are all a temporary phase things. So you can some sort of agreement is there for the outsourcing. But the concept is like this. Now, challenges faced by the HR. What are the challenges of the? One of the challenges there are the internal in natures, because internally the employees are not relations not good, or maybe the conflict is going on continuously within the things. So that's why some of the restructuring and organizational culture is also affecting outsourcing because of the outsourcing things, downsizing, decentralizations, all are the challenges, problems or reasons you can see it, and challenges also of course. These all are the challenges. So that is the internal. Now you see the environmental changes, another part, because the issues are emanating from the external part, that is include your legislations, different rule and regulations or government initiatives are taken by. Then globalizations, labor demand and the supply is one of the labor. Then what diversity is another aspect. People are coming from different regions, their culture is different. So work diversity one of the important factors. Individual challenges are issues regarding the employees, how they being treated. So these all are the basically affecting your organizational performance. So this is the area challenges faced by the HR. Environmental influence are factors with the impact of the HR operations within the organizations. Factor influence now have to see again it is a redefined basically the category two categories one external environment. What are the influences in them? These things that is a government regulations as I said, then economic conditions, technological advancement. You have to adopt some of the new technologies. So that is one of the challenge. Then workforce demographics. Some of the areas workforce is more, some of the areas workforce is not there. So that demographic conditions also see legal factors, political factors is also important. Then your economic factors, social factors, all are external environment. Internal environment is also there is a compensation. That salaries are good, maybe you are not at par, or maybe the increment is not there, or the rate of increment is less. Employee relations are not good. Customer satisfactions, customer also unhappy. New entrants, those are newly entrants are there. That relationship between the old and new that not build up. Then big organs, there is a big size. This is also in the problems for controlling and maintaining organizational structures, business strategy, organizational culture, top management involvement, and the line managers are not giving the feedback in time. So power and politics, so many internal problems are there. So these are different way external environment and the internal environment you can categorize, and these are all of the factors are influencing in the HRM process. So there are the two categories. So now the classical approach of the strategy refer to the ability and capacity and the readiness of the management to make long-term planning to make the decisions and actions to achieve the organizational goals effectively. So these are a classical approach to see how much capacity you have. Strategic management incorporates basically the organizational identifications, environmental analysis, strategic formulations, strategy implementations, and these all are your strategy management incorporations. So then internationally, you see there are when you are managing the other sources, you have to source the management or you have to international boundaries. So not only the management the expertise, but also it is also management worldwide. Because when somebody in the HR persons are posted in somewhere, so you have to see the local system also. So you have to manage the local people also, and their culture is also have to adapt it. So these are different functions or concept are there in the international. Objectives of your organizational strives, then you're achieving the competitive advantage, global market, and you're achieving the efficiencies, meeting the demands in the international market. What are actually the demand? You have to meet it. I mean, what are the at par with the international market systems? Achieving the flexibility and the adaptability to the dynamic of a short period. So all are your things are is part of your international management. Another part is the planning and hiring the staff, performance appraisals will be different, it will be compensation systems will be different because the domestically one type of salaries, but when you are posting in the somebody in the outside, the compensation system should be there. Their allowances may be more. Training will be different. Pre-training is also required before posting to somebody internationally. So job requirement is also different. Culture similarities. You have to language. You have to know some of the language, local language. Communications with the local nationals are important. These all are functions of the HRMs. Issues in the international HRMs also there the globalizations, then your environmental factors, cultural differences. These are all of them. There are so many phases are there. How to analyze the things. First, you help the understanding the present situations. Then you correlation the activities. Then thirdly, you have to see some of the predictable analysis. There is deeper. You have to collect the things, analyze the things, then you have to predict it. So many cases are there. Industrial revolutions are also there. So introduce the machinery part, and the second industrial part, and third the digital environments to a high level concept. Yeah. So this is the way. And artificial intelligence also one of the things that there nowadays the robotic systems are coming up. So this is also another aspect of there. So okay, thank you very much. Uh, Namaskar.